want to be completely honest with you here. You don't have to force or pressure yourself for this marriage just because of our parents. It's okay, you can tell me your opinion. I'll talk to them. You slowly bring your eyes on him. He was a man with a very calm personality, gentleness in his actions, and softness in his voice, making him completely different from all the other men you have ever seen in your life. He was ready to go against his and your parents' decision if it causes you inconvenience, and after living in that toxic relationship where you almost forgot your true self, lost your worth for that guy who was just using you, you really lost faith in everything. It's been only 6 months since you divorced that jerk, and he lost his wife 3 years ago. You both are broken from inside, unlucky in love, but destiny is pulling you closer, giving a chance to heal each other's broken soul. I can understand that it's not easy to commit such a big commitment, so you can take your time to think. Whatever your decision would be, I will respect it. Although you didn't say anything, but you already know what decision you are going to take. You have given a chance to that jerk even after going against your parents, and what he gave you, trauma and insecurities. You decided to give this one a chance too. After a week, the preparations for the marriage started. Although you and Jungkook both asked to keep it simple and among some really close friends and family members because you both wanted it to be short. They were very much happy with your decision that you finally accepted the marriage proposal. Jungkook didn't hesitate to tell you about his past because he wanted to be completely transparent so that in future there won't be any inconvenience because of this. You got to know that his wife died in a car crash. He never wanted to move on from her because she was his first love. He was lucky to be the guy who got to marry his first love, and everything was so good in between them until that tragedy happened. He also has a 6-year-old son, and right now you are going to meet him for the first time. You were nervous because you were not sure what will that child would feel. You and Jungkook talked so much about your past and developed a good understanding. He was surprised to know that you have been with that guy for 4 years even after knowing how disturbing he was, but sometimes love put a blindfold in your eyes that you can't see their toxicity. Your mom came inside your room and she saw you getting ready. Jungkook is here waiting for you downstairs. You looked at her surprised because you didn't expect him to come to pick you up. He came here. She nodded and walked near you. Vienna. He's really a nice guy, you know. He wasn't ready for the marriage just like you, but he still doesn't want to hurt you or make you feel like you're forced on him. I hope you'll give him the same respect and love that he's giving you. I know it's difficult, but you can try, right? You looked down and nodded. Okay, let's go. You know his little boy is here too. He must be excited to see his mother as well. I'll be there in a minute. She smiled and walked out of the room while you took a deep breath. You were not sure how things would be with him, but you decided to try your best. If they are ready to accept you with open arms, you won't betray them as well. Though this is a marriage of convenience, your parents know each other for a long time and they want to merge and expand their business, but that's not the only sole purpose. Both the families have seen their kids suffering in silence, broken-hearted, and they want to bring them happiness at any cost. Neither you nor Jungkook was ready for it. He was suffering alone from 3 years when his wife left him. Even his parents forced him to get married, not for himself but for his son, but he decided to raise him alone. It was harder than he thought, but he was doing it. But his parents didn't give up, and finally he had to get agreed. He also have realized that his son needs a mother. He's not growing the way he should be, and it will affect him in a long time. And the same with you. After coming out of that toxic relationship where you were thinking all that behavior was normal, you realized that it wasn't. At last you took a stand for yourself and left the jerk who now is in jail. You checked yourself in a mirror, trying to prepare yourself to face that new member of the family. You are still suffering from depression and anxiety. You have decided to give yourself a chance, but still your past traumas are not leaving you. Everything is going to be fine, you said to your reflection in the mirror and then walked out of the room. You came downstairs when you saw a little boy sitting beside Jungkook. He resembles Jungkook a lot and your mother was trying to talk to him, but he looks a little nervous. And they all see you. Your mother smiled and looked at the boy. Here comes your soon-to-be mom. Do you like your new mom? The boy shifted his attention to you as you came near them and sat on the couch beside your dad. Hello Jungsu. You were nervous too, but you tried to create a comfortable environment for that little boy or your soon-to-be son. Jungsu, won't you greet her? He got up and bowed at you, but there were no expressions on his face. He got up and greeted you. You all were understanding that he might be nervous as he is seeing everyone for the first time. You flashed a soft smile at him. Shall we go now? He said, looking at you while you nodded. Take care, three of you, and also spend a good amount of time. It will be better if Jungsu get comfortable with his new mom soon. Jungsu was standing with his dad. He didn't say anything nor he responded that well, but you knew he can be nervous just like you. Then you all walked out of the house. Jungsu was really excited to go to the amusement park. You smiled and looked at Jungsu through the mirror, who was only looking at you from the time he saw you, but he doesn't look happy meeting you. Why are you so quiet, Bunny? Are you shy? You smiled and looked back at Jungsu. You thought you should start a conversation to make him comfortable. You don't need to be shy, Jungsu. Jungsu looked at his father. Why are you marrying her, Dad? You don't even look at another woman and now you are all nice to her. Why? He finally opened his mouth and it broke your heart. Jungkook and you both looked at each other. Jungkook felt so sorry and bad, but he wasn't expecting Jungsu to behave this way. Jungsu, is this how you behave? Didn't Grandma and Grandpa already told you? She's your new mother. You try to hold back your tears, not wanting to cry over a kid's words who isn't wrong completely. No, she's not my mother. My mother is not in this world anymore. She's just a replacement for her. Jungsu. Jungkook stopped the car and looked at him. He never thought his son could say such things. But he must have not realized that he's growing up too. He can see things and maybe he doesn't want to replace his mother's place. But it was insulting to you. He can't see that also. He promised himself to start this relationship with respect because it was known that love will slowly develop but respect is much more needed. Jungsu, say sorry to her. He said looking at his son. I didn't say anything wrong, so I won't apologize. What's wrong with your behavior? Where are your manners? He raised his voice, but you calmed him. It's okay, don't scold him. You said holding back your tears and you were understanding Jungsu's behavior too. He's just a kid. It might take him some time to accept you as his mother, as he's been living without his real mother for 3 years now. All the plans and mood, everything spoiled just by this incident. Jungkook looked at you apologetically. I'm sorry for his behavior. I think I failed to raise him well. It's okay. He's just a kid. Please don't apologize. You looked outside the window, trying to control your tears while Jungkook looked at his son sitting on the back seat folding his arms. He started the engine again and you all just went to a restaurant and later Jungkook dropped you to your house. Jungkook closed the door and walked near the bed where his son was sitting. He wasn't talking to him and was still mad. Jungkook sat beside him before extending a bottle of banana milk towards his son, but he turned his face to the other side. This made Jungkook sigh. He knew it's not his son's fault and he needs to make him understand why he's marrying, and it doesn't mean that he'll replace his mother. Will you stay mad at me like this? He didn't get any response from his son, so he picked him up and made him sit on his lap. Jungsuah, I know you are mad at me. I'm so sorry for raising my voice, but you should know that the way you behaved in front of Ayan, whatever you said, it wasn't good. You hurted her. Jungsuh looked at him, tears were in his eyes. So now she's more important to you? You forgot mom that easily? Now you'll give mom's place to her? Jungkook gently placed a kiss on his forehead before looking at him again. Anyone in this world can never take another person's place in someone's heart. Jungsuh, try to understand. You don't have to give your mother's place, but respect, we should give it to everyone, right? And you always say that you wish to have a mother. We all are broken pieces. Can't we just form a new relationship by collecting those pieces, healing each other? She will give you a place in her heart. She will accept you as her son. Sometimes a relationship formed by heart and not blood. We got unlucky at first. Is it wrong to give it a second chance? He stayed silent for some time. And what if she take you away from me? What if she doesn't like me? The small boy was expressing his fear and it made Jungkook really surprised. He shook his head before cupping his face. Nothing like this would happen. Who told you all this? She will never do it and I will never leave you. Never, he said, embracing his son. I will apologize to her for my bad behavior. A smile appeared on Jungkook's face along with tears. He was so proud of his son. You are so smart, my bunny. I'm proud of you. You finally came out of your room and come in the backyard when your mom called you more than 10 times. You weren't crying nor you were sad. You were just thinking. You, Jungkook and Jungsuh, three of you are in a position where it's really hard to move on, to accept the other, but at the same time you all need someone to heal those wounds, to fill that gap. You were happy that Jungkook is not how you imagined it would be, to trust another guy. He is understanding and a pure gentleman. He is empty and broken from inside, but still he is trying to comfort you. But you didn't want to accept this marriage until Jungsuh is ready, because even if you get married to Jungkook, that child will always think that you took his mother's place and separated his father from him. Today no one was inside the house. All of a sudden they decided to have breakfast in the backyard, and when you came there, you were surprised to see Jungkook and Jungsuh with their parents. Jungsuh was looking happier than how you saw him yesterday. He was comfortable with your parents also, and your mother was feeding him fruits while preparing breakfast. Jungkook noticed you and he flashed a soft smile towards you that really did something inside you. You never thought your heart will be skipping beats for him this soon. Then your mother said something to Jungsuh and that little boy came near you. He extended a small bouquet of roses towards you. Good morning, Umma. Although you are late because it's only 5 minutes to be in the afternoon. Your heart fluttered when he called you Umma. You thought you misheard it, but then he held your hand before smiling at you. But now that you come, let's have breakfast. Tears filled up in your eyes. Don't know why you felt so special. You felt like he's your own son that called you Umma. It was the word you were yearning to hear and always wanted to hear from your child whom you lost in a miscarriage. You sat on your knees and hugged him without a second thought. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for saying that. He has no idea why you were thanking him, but he patted your back with his small hands and let you hug him. Your parents and Jungkook, they were emotional too after seeing this. You broke the hug and wiped your eyes before looking at him. Thank you for the flowers and this new name that you have given me. He smiled just a little. I'm sorry for yesterday, Mom. I was rude, but I won't say that ever again. Appa explained everything to me. I'm ready to be your son and welcome you in our home. You kissed his forehead and then you both walked towards everyone to join them. Jungkook was so happy and again proud of his son and his maturity that he understood things real quick. He sat in between you and Jungkook and was happier than ever now. Jungkook ruffled his son's hair. He was happy that finally everything will be alright. We are going to the amusement park today. Are you ready, Oma? You looked at Jungkook who was already looking at you. Don't worry, he already knows. I'm asking you. This made everyone surprised and laugh a little. Your parents were also super happy to see he was now comfortable around you. How can I say no? We'll definitely go and have fun. And then you all had brunch together. After 3 months, the day finally came when you and Jungkook got married. You waited 3 months because you wanted to create a bond with Jungsu and Jungkook as well. It won't take any of you much long to accept each other, and now Jungkook also started to develop feelings for you, just like how you do. The family already seems to be completed and everyone was so happy. Jungsu was sitting in between his grandparents, watching his parents getting married. Of course, he was not that familiar with his real mother's memories because he was only 3 when she died. All he remembers is the love he got from his father and grandparents. But he also developed a very deep connection with you. He started to like you very much and made you feel like you are the one who gave birth to him. It was overwhelming and emotional for you because you also lost your unborn child, but you feel like you have got it back in Jungsu. Jungsu, are you happy today? You have got your mother. You like her, right? He looked at his grandmother, who had tears in her eyes out of happiness. Yes, I'm happy. I like my new mom. She smiled and hugged him. Then the ritual was completed and you called Jungsu where you and Jungkook were standing. He came running near both of you. Careful! You picked him up as soon as he came near. You are looking so beautiful in this dress. You melted by his compliment and kissed his cheek. Thank you, my baby. You are looking like a gentleman too. He giggled and then you both heard Jungkook clearing his throat. Why do I feel like I'm being ignored? I have got ready too. You both chuckled. You are looking handsome as always, right Jungsu? You asked looking at Jungsu and he nodded. Now our family is all complete, right? Jungkook caressed his cheek and nodded, and then 3 of you shared a family hug, bringing tears in everyone's eyes. The scene was so comforting and emotional at the same time. Finally, they all healed their broken hearts and formed a new family.